Welcome to the Impactful Entrepreneur Show with Adrienne Hill, a place for online business industry expertise and thought leadership, where you can build the skills, structure, and systems you need to thrive in business and have a lasting impact in your industry. Let's do this. Hello, and welcome back to yet another amazing masterclass style training. I am here with the amazing Roxanne Wilson. She's a coach dedicated to guiding network marketers through the ever-changing social media world. She quickly became a leader in her company and the direct sales channel as a whole, earning in the top 3% of all network marketers. So you guys, now is the time to listen in. We have a really great speaker here. And it was here that she found a love for melding her passions and experience to help network marketers learn how to run their business in the modern social media world, step into becoming the CEO of their business. And today she's here to talk to us about capturing leads with video automation. I know we all know video is big, but video automation, I need to know more. So welcome, Roxanne. We're so excited to have you here with us.
Adrienne, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So now, before we jump into all things video automation, which I'm super geeked and excited about, there may be some folks in the audience who maybe haven't met you yet. So could you tell us just a little bit about your story and kind of where you started, how you ended up becoming an expert in this field, and just, the story behind all of it?
Sure. Okay. So I was a lawyer by trade, practiced law, wanted to be a Supreme Court justice. And then one day as I was practicing law, I realized I didn't want to do it anymore. There was literally just I was in Austin, high rise, working. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And there was a motorcycle rally going back and forth. And I'm like, wow, they're so passionate about what they're doing. And I'm not passionate about this. So I got down on my knees, got up and said, okay, in the next 3 weeks, I'm out. 3 months, I'm out. A week later, I got a call about auditions for a reality show and just like getting the word out because I was an alum of Baylor. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, sure. And anyhow, I was doing that and I was like, wait a moment, I could do this show. So I auditioned, one thing led to another. And I was off to New York City to get fired on national TV. So I did that, made the final four. And that was like my exit my exit from law. I did morning radio. I did home shopping, hosting. I wrote a book, talked to women around the country, speaking about women in business and faith, and then stumbled into network marketing, where it was really like I had been going, and I took a pause. And my friend had joined a company, and I was like, I thought I'd never do something like that. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to think. Wait, I can just do. That's what I want to do right now. So I did that, and I had a great success, and then realized, wait a moment, I have life experience that would really help me be even better at this.
Oh, yeah.
And so I started implementing all that I learned through my TV and, radio time and whatnot about social media and my business skills. And I did even better. So I started teaching that to my downline, to my sidelines, to everyone who would listen. And I realized what I really wanted to do was to coach and teach that to the entire channel, so that we could get with the times. And so that's what I've been doing for the last few years.
Oh my gosh, I love this story. So, okay, first of all, the things that jump out at me, it takes a lot of bravery to say, you know what, this is not what I want to be doing. This is not and to say, I'm going to make a change. And man, did you ever, you made a quick pivot. You're like 3 months out, all of a sudden, all these opportunities opening up because you were brave enough.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And I think, I don't know if you know anything about human design, but I found out recently I'm a manifestor. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I make decisions, just go. And I'm a splenic type of boom, boom, boom. So it all makes sense now. It's funny when you do it. I'm like, oh, my 20s made so much sense now. But
you were manifesting all that time and you had no idea.
I had no idea.
Yes. We sound very similar. Yeah.
But I think, for me, I knew that if I went down this path, I wouldn't be happy. And I felt like my happiness was worth more than what if I fail, or what if I let people down, or if people think I'm crazy because I've left this great job. I just knew that I needed to get out. So
yeah. Well, and what
get out.
The other part I love about your story, you didn't necessarily know what you wanted to do. You just knew that being a lawyer wasn't it.
Yes.
And you just said yes to opportunity. You said, sure, I'll be on TV. You said, sure, I'll, do all these cool things. Sure, I'll try this network marketing thing. And it was through the journey of saying yes to opportunity that you found the thing that does make you come alive, that makes you happy. And it makes you really be able to not just live the life you want, but help other people live the lives they want. It was just by being brave enough to say yes.
Yes, I love that 100%. And you know what? I think for me, my dad always says everything in life prepares you for something you do in the future. So now I can look back and go, oh, that all makes sense. But I knew that my passion was having a positive impact in people's lives. So it didn't really matter what the package was. As long as I'm doing that, I'm a happy person.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. So for anyone watching who maybe you have that little voice in the back of your mind that's going, but are you really doing what you want to do? I mean, really, listen to that little voice, I mean, Roxanne and I are both examples of like, we both listened to that little voice and we were brave enough to step out, and now we're living lives we love and we're helping people live lives they love, and you can do it. So we're on your side. Absolutely. So knowing that, now let's dive into the role that video can play in that, because of course we all know social media is where it's at. That's where the people are hanging out, but specifically video is one of the most powerful aspects of social media. So tell us just a little bit about the role that video plays. And I know there's different types of video. There's long form, there's short form, there's like teeny tiny short form and all the like reels and TikToks. And so just tell us a little bit about like why video.
Yeah.
Why is that so important when you're building your business?
So it's funny when you say why video, I blame Mark Zuckerberg, but then I really blame YouTube. I blame them both. I blame YouTube because of course that's the granddaddy, grandfather, the OG when it comes to video on the web. But Mark Zuckerberg is such a jealous lover that he can't let anybody be on any other platform but one that he owns, right? And so you see like as he's created and gone, he set his goal like years and years ago was to have the most like video views be on one of his platforms. And he's tried it and it hasn't worked out. He's tried it on Facebook, hasn't happened. YouTube's still going strong. And YouTube is not going anywhere, don't get me wrong. But with TikTok coming out and doing their videos, and you got Instagram, right? And you have Reels. And when, let me get the right year because I know people can be watching this at different times. So it would be 2021, August is when Instagram came out and said, we're no longer an image social media platform. We're now a video. Like, surprise, we just made it. And so it was like, okay. I know, okay. What does that mean? But they really have been making this change and transition in a big way over the last year. And now July 2022, they just came out and said, guess what? Now any video on Instagram is a reel. They're all reels. Everything's real. It's all going to show up. So and that means that everything's going to be showing up in like your feed is going to be video, like a reel. Mm-hmm. They are really putting their money where their mouth is on that. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense because you think about just the way we are as humans. Video captures us, right? That's the thing that's so interesting. And so for someone who has their own online business, it's a great way for people to feel like they know, like, and trust you. It speeds up that funnel process in a way that a lead gen that's like a PDF can never do, or just posts can never do as much as like having that video. Oh yeah. I mean, even now, for those of you watching, we've only been here for a few minutes together, but how many of you feel like just through listening to us and seeing our mannerisms and how we speak and how we talk, like you kind of know Roxanne and I a little bit, like we're not total strangers to you anymore, right? We're hanging out together. We're in like a little virtual living room together. There you go.
By the end of this, you're going to feel like you know both of us, and you won't be afraid to interact with us in the Facebook group, which of course we'll invite you to do. But so of course, video is where it's at. Great for know, like, and trust. Now, I'm really curious, in your automation strategy that you teach, what are your personal feelings around longer form video versus shorter form video? Because I know short form is hot right now. Yeah. But longer form, like what we're doing now, has its place as well. So what are your thoughts?
It does. So I love them both. I love that you said they both have value, but at the end of the day, if you can craft your message and do it succinctly, that is like the money shot. It really is. But it's harder to do too. Like, when lives came out, I'm like, oh my gosh, now we're all blubbering around talking like 10 minutes longer than we would because we're on live. And we wouldn't do that if it was recorded. When you think about the fact that we as humans have like short attention spans, and they're getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. If you can do it or say it in 5 seconds, it's kind of like name that tune. I can do it in five notes, like if you can do it in short form, go with short form in a big way. Now, that being said, long form is great once you know, like, and trust me, and you want to dive deeper and you want some like meaty value, then yeah, go with the longer form. But that initial, like I always say, it's like we're at a bar, like when you're dating, like if you give someone all your goods right there, that's a little bit weird. You have to kind of ease into it, right? You can't go and be like, let's get married. It's like, I don't even know you yet. So like the little short form is the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So let's dive into then, knowing the power of video, that both long and short form have a place. I know you have a very specific like video automation strategy that you use to capture leads, because I mean, we all know until someone has opted in, they've said yes, they've raised their hand that they're interested in what you're talking about, they're just a lurker, right? But we want the actual leads. We want people raising their hand and saying, yeah, I'm into this. I want to know what you're talking about. I want what you're offering. Like, tell me more. And you bring together video and automation in a really interesting way. So tell us about, like, is it possible to blend video, which is it's live, it's authentic, it's in the moment, and automation, which is like, to a lot of people feels inauthentic. Like, let's talk about that.
Yes. I think this trend that we're going in, like it's just been on me, like the manifest for me is like, oh my gosh, I've got to figure this out. Is probably like back when, remember when there were webinars and you thought they were live, but they weren't live, remember that whole thing? It was a thing. And then it was like, this trend is like the tippy top of the trend. So this is a great opportunity for you to dive in. And here's the thing. If you think about, did you ever, Adrienne, question for you, did you ever read the books that were like choose your own adventure books?
Yes, I did. Yes. It's probably showing my age, but yeah, I love those books.
My age too. Like those are the bomb. And if you didn't, like someone go like find one, I don't know, on Amazon, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. You can actually create a video funnel that is actually like that, where people feel like they're interacting with you. So it's like you take away the impersonal aspect of it, because you're the one sitting there talking to them. And so really it's a matter of, and what I teach is, okay, where do you want them to go? What is the goal? You have to start from the end. And then you create a video funnel that literally asks them, like, gives them a little information in little short forms. And then based on that, what you tell them, they can choose where they can go next. So the next video starts and you're like, oh, great, you decided to do such and such. Let me tell you a little more about this. And you can take that all the way through straight to like purchasing product, to setting up an appointment, or to like saying, hey, I want more information, maybe in like written form. And so that's like you think about that, and you think about the fact that people, just last night, I couldn't sleep. Don't know why, couldn't sleep. And so what did I do? I got on Instagram. And what does that mean for me? That means that I probably bought a couple of things, right? You go down the rabbit hole. I was doing that. I was reading my emails, and then I did end up buying someone's tripwire or something. And I'm like, I'm really doing this right now. I'm like, yes, you're doing this. But because the automation is so important, right? Because someone you don't have to be there in that moment. But if you can make it as personal as possible, that automation, then it's like gold. And the way to make it personal is to create videos that walk people through those steps.
Yeah. So it's basically, you give them opportunities of choice. It's like a game of would you rather, choose your own adventure, like you said. Like, so the video, like the top of the funnel, would a reel be an opening point for this kind of video funnel?
100%. Anything on. So like I tell my clients, like, now that you've created this, it's like, come on, like you need to be shaking, rattling, rolling like those like sign spinners and those like blow up dolls, letting people know, right? Getting people in the funnel. Sometimes I think that's one of the things we do. We spend time making it, and then we're like, oh, I showed it once and nobody showed up. It's like, did you actually let people know it's out there? Right. So a reel is a great way, 100%. A post is a great way. Doing a story is a great way, and having that link go to that funnel. Changing on Instagram, it can be any platform, but we're talking about Instagram right now, right? So changing your website link to maybe that, and like really, really promoting that in a big way. And also you can send it out to your list. So you can already send it out to your list. And what I always teach my clients to do initially is send it out and go, hey, I just created this thing. Would you take a look at it? Boom. Right. And what's great is when they do, even if it's clients that are already using their product, they're like, oh my gosh, I literally say this, I learned so much more that I didn't know about the product. Or people who haven't purchased get to go through it. And here's the great thing about it. We don't realize that people, as much as they want to know you, they don't want to know you, right? It's intimidating to like have a live conversation with you.
They
And
want to know you, but they don't want to talk to you until they want to talk to you.
100%. 100%. That's exactly it. So if they can feel like I can talk to you, Adrienne, and you'll talk back to me, but you won't really be there, it's like the best situation for everyone. And if you're an introvert, this is great for you as well, too, because you don't have to have all those interactions until you really have to have an interaction. So it works for everyone.
Yeah. So each step of the journey, there's some video that they're watching, and you're giving them an opportunity to choose their own adventure, right? So is there some button nearby where it's like, is it like a combination of a quiz meets some videos?
It could be. It really depends on where you want them to go. But yeah, I do like teaching that, like, are you interested in this or that? Okay, based on this, I actually do them in all different ways. But yes, it could be a quiz, and literally on the screen, whether it's on their phone or on the computer, they just click the button and it takes them to the next one. So it just takes you through each of those steps till you get to the end.
Yeah. And of course, at the end is some sort of an offer of a product or service that would solve the issues they identified they had.
Yes.
Through this video funnel.
Or it's, I need more information, so I'd like to set up an appointment. And you can literally have your calendar right there, and they can book an appointment and it shows up on your calendar.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's truly automated.
Yeah. And it all just starts with, so the initial entry point, let's say it's a reel. It's as long as there's some link they go to, it takes them to the next page. And from there, it's just however many pages you've strung together.
Correct.
Have you found that there's, so these are all just built on simple web pages, like a video with some button choices, or?
Oh, great question. There is actually a company that does this, that has this. So, but they create it typically as like an ability for you to have like a question spot, like on your website, right? I've just taken it and said, you know what, we can do more with this. Yeah. There's so many things to do with it, but we can actually make an automated funnel and guide people through the process completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So you work with a certain software, a certain platform,
right,
to do this. Have you found that there's like a magic number of touch points? Like after 6 videos, the majority of people are ready to buy, or like, does it just depend?
It totally depends. It depends on how warm really your market is. And so just like any other funnel, you're going to see people who are immediately buying and some who are going to trickle off, right? Not everyone makes it through the funnel. Sure. But I always say, they're making it, even if they make it halfway through, they're getting more information. They feel like they know you a little bit more. And when they're ready, they're primed for it.
Well, and I'm sure it's such a unique and different experience. The minute they start revisiting that topic in their mind, they're going to think of you. They're going to remember you because you were the cool person who had this choose your own adventure video funnel.
100%. Exactly.
Stand out in their mind. Well, and given that at any step in the process, there's a choice, right? They get to choose their next step. It has this customized feel, I would imagine.
It does. It really does. And it gives people a feeling of, oh my goodness, you really see me and you've catered this experience to me, even though, of course, it's catered to everyone. But you know what I'm saying? Right. It gives that opinion, that illusion, but I don't want to call it illusion, but it does feel, it just feels more personal in a lot of ways. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And because it's done with video, it's not like the automated voice of like push 1 for our hours. Like that's not what we're talking about here.
Right. And it's you too, right? That makes a difference, right? How many times you're like, oh, it's a live chat and I want to talk to a person. Let me talk to a person. But this is like actually you. I won't now. I'm not gonna lie. It takes time to put together and the strategy of like how long to make the videos, and that does take time. But once it's done, it's done. Yeah. And it's great. Yeah.
I mean, just like with anything else, you can have this broad idea of like, oh, a video funnel. Sure, that makes sense. Just like with any other funnel, the devil's in the details.
Yes.
I'm sure there's very tiny tweaks, very specific things you can do that'll make it convert twice as good as prior to making that change, or right? Like, and so that's the magic of it. But help paint the picture for us of, okay, let's say that the audience is digging this idea. They really want to do that. They're like, oh, that totally makes sense. Like for the introverts are like, they're dancing right now. They're so excited. So let's say that they do take the time to set this up, learn this strategy, creating this video funnel that leads people towards joining their team as a recruit, if they're in network marketing, or purchasing a product, or even for the coaches or course creators out there, purchasing their course. I mean, this could be used for anything, I'd imagine, right?
100%. Yes.
What kinds of results have you experienced or have your clients experienced after taking the time to set up this type of video funnel?
Fantastic question. What we found is that in the network marketing world, like the gold is like people I didn't know joined my business or people I didn't know about my product. And that's what we're seeing more and more. So it's like people they didn't even know. Because the thing about people who lurk on social media, which more people lurk than don't, is you never know they're really there. And so it's like when getting that, I didn't know they were there. And it's not that they weren't watching before, but you've given them a reason, an opportunity to purchase, and you've given them a way to get their questions answered in a way that is very unintimidating. And so what we found is team members, with conversion of team members, we're seeing conversion of people buying products, and also list building, because some people might decide not to purchase, but they do want to get on that list to get more information. And so it's been really, really juicy.
Oh, that's very cool. So people are literally getting customers and recruits in network marketing, people they've never met, complete strangers. That's because right. If you send them through a smart funnel, that's exactly what can happen.
100%.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So now how many of these have you set up in your business? Is it something like you set up one and then once you realized how well it worked, you have like 22 now, or?
It's funny you ask. I was looking at it, I was like, I need to organize this. Adrienne, I'm not as organized as you are. I was like, oh my gosh. So for my business, I probably have, so I use them in different ways. I have about 5 or 6 of them that I'm like using regularly. And honestly, for my members, what I also do is I use it as an onboarding tool. So I can onboard and show them like how to make a social media calendar and schedule. And based on how many times they want to post, I can give them based on this is what your calendar will look like. So that's been a really great way to use it as well too. I'm using it. I'm actually now switching my link in bio. We're switching that over to use it in that sense as well too. Yeah. Because again, it's more personal to have someone say, hi, thanks for looking at my links. Click here. What would you like more information about? So I use it in all sorts of different ways. And we just found that it converts. I use it in my launches. It just converts really, really well.
Yeah. So is at some point you're capturing their lead information. Do you generally have the lead capture at the beginning or the end?
Oh, I love that you asked that question because we've been testing both things. Yeah. And I'm the type of person who's like, get it at the beginning. Like that's just me because I'm like, I want serious people. But what we are finding with network marketers specifically is it's better to have it later.
At the end,
which is a bit of a switch, right? So yes, you're giving them more information without getting their information, but there are people who will go through that whole process and purchase, but that desire, like that, hey, give me your email address, is just like they're averse to it. It's a barrier.
It's a hoop they're not ready to jump through yet.
Correct.
But after 5 or 6 videos where they're like, yeah, I really kind of like this Roxanne chick. Like I'm fine to give her my email now. Like
exactly.
Okay. Exactly. Interesting. So fascinating. And I assume, you could set up all kinds of variations of this for all types of products, all types of companies, all types of recruiting packages. Now, at any point, is there long form video in there? Because I know there's this hypothesis. A lot of people think, if you really break it down, people don't realize this. If you're selling a network marketing business, you're selling a high ticket offer. People don't think of it that way.
That's so true. People don't think of it that way.
You're selling high ticket without realizing you're selling high ticket. And I also know there's this belief in the industry that you can't sell high ticket unless you get on a sales call. But are you finding that people are actually enrolling on these business kits without necessarily having to have a full conversation or phone call with someone?
100% they are. Now, listen, I don't believe that anything's in silo, right? And what I teach is really like, you have to make sure that I call it the storefront, which is your social media, and the store, like that has to be in order, right? I don't think that someone comes necessarily, or very few people come and like, I didn't know it all. I went to the funnel and there we go. There's some type of credibility that is built on social media before you get there. But yes, to answer your question, we're seeing that people are going through and buying the kits and buying like big bundles of product. Now, I'm a big believer in a hero product, like pick one product. Let's not confuse things because you have one great product. If people are getting transformations from that one product, they'll buy anything else you want to offer, right?
If they have a great experience, they're going to continue.
Exactly. So in the funnels, what we focus on is I coach them through like picking one product, and that's the product that we build out the funnel for them with, and then we go from there. But yes, to answer your main question, and you're so right. It is a big ticket. People don't think of it that way. They totally. Yeah. And if you told a network marketer that, I'm going to tell my members that, they'd be like, "What?
Like, do you realize you're selling high ticket? Like, that's what you're doing.
High ticket. Yeah, you really are."
Well, and the other funny thing that most network marketers don't realize, if you are building a thriving downline and you're building customers and you're recruiting and you have a team and you're helping your team succeed, you may not think of yourself as a coach, but you're a coach.
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. You completely are, which is why I love it when those who realize that are like, I need to, because I have a coach. I have coaches, I should say. I don't feel like I can coach or help someone without also getting help myself. You're
absolutely.
Pouring out and pouring in all at the same time. And so I love it when leaders are like, wait a moment, I need to be poured into if I'm going to be pouring out and helping so many other people as well too.
You can't pour from an empty cup. And when you're allowing wisdom to come in from different coaches who are feeding you that same wisdom, you can put it in your own voice through your own learning lens, share it with your people in the voice that they like. They're with you because there's something about your voice, your teaching style that they love, they trust, they like you, right? And so, yeah, absolutely. So really, I mean, almost no matter what business you're in, we're all kind of coaches to a certain extent.
We are. I think, yes. Just if you're living life, you're a coach.
Yeah.
Just if you choose to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But you're constantly either enrolling someone into something, or they're enrolling you.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
You could be enrolling your 2-year-old into eating their dinner, or that 2-year-old could be enrolling you into having a screaming match.
That's right. Or having ice cream instead.
Like, but you're always enrolling, right?
Always.
Like all the time. And surprise, network marketers, you're selling high ticket offers. Like,
and the other thing I think too I think is important, and why I love this so much, is because it is duplicatable in different ways. And in the network marketing space, that's something that is valued. Duplicatable in the sense that you could really build it and have your team use it, right? And just have the links go to, like, send people back to their person, or you can teach them how to use it as well too, and create it for themselves,
where they can then embed their own links at the end.
Exactly.
And they can learn how to set up these own funnels for themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I love that because, and I've heard 1,000 times, and I think it's true, it doesn't matter what works, it matters what duplicates. So if it doesn't duplicate, it doesn't matter if it works for you, because it's got to work for you and 100 other people, right? So,
right.
And it sounds like this strategy, I mean, it's genius in that for the introverts, they're like, oh, finally, I can get the information I need without someone like trying to sell me something, right? But it sounds like at the end, I mean, you do give an opportunity for someone to talk to you live if they want to. So for the extroverts, or for the people who are like, it was great kind of talking to you, but I really want to talk to you because I got some questions. I mean, that is an option in these funnels, or it could be.
It is, absolutely. Because I think that's important for people. And some people want to talk to you before they do give you their credit card, which is totally reasonable, right? So
Shocker.
I know what you want to. You want to make sure I'm a real person. What?
Right.
But I think it's good to give people different options, right? You meet them where they are when they're there. And so that's why I really encourage those things. And it can be as easy as a Calendly invite for, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. No one wants an hour of your time.
Doesn't have to be overly complicated. So I think at this point, the audience is realizing how cool this is. They would probably kill me if I didn't ask you what platform you used to set.
I was waiting for, I was like, I wonder if she's going to ask me what platform.
I think the audience will kill me if I don't.
Yeah,
so.
I think, and rightfully, I don't believe in murder, but they should if you didn't ask. So well done. Good interviewer. Video ask.
Video ask. Okay, that's one I've not heard of. I'm sure everyone is curious and interested and motivated. I mean, I love this idea. I think I've dabbled in similar things, but nothing quite like this. And I think it's the neatest idea. But I know from experience, the devil's in the details.
It is.
The people who go out and learn from a master like you are going to do so much better and get better results than the people who try to go out and bootstrap it themselves. We all know that, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. You can shorten your learning curve by learning from people who actually know what they're doing. So for those who have been watching and they're like, okay, this is super cool. I'm loving this. It works for the introverts. It works for the extroverts. It's kind of like a guided tour, a build your own adventure. I'm ready to do this. I know you have a gift that can help the audience to get started on this pathway of like figuring out all those little detailed pieces that have to come together. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
I would love to. So I call this the custom automated lead system. That came to me one day and I went with it, or CALS for short. Maybe because I live in California. I don't know where I went there, but anyway. So what I have for you is a free lead automation roadmap that kind of breaks down like how to get from X to Z or Y to Z or A to Z, whatever letter you, or Z if you're British. But it'll guide you through that in a way. What I also love about it too is in addition to that, I'm going to take you through it. So literally, you can go through a version of it and I'll take you the process of just kind of seeing, hey, is a video lead system right for you? And really, I do have options where I say, no, it's not right for you in there. So you can go through the choose your own adventure and see what it's like as well too.
Well, and I love that. I think the best way to see if a funnel is the right fit for you is to just jump into that funnel and see how it feels to be in it. And if you like how it feels and it's speaking to your personal style and like you feel like you're getting good service, yet it's not pushy and it's kind of fun, you're curious what's next, like this might be the perfect thing for you guys. So I love that gift. Thank you for offering that. I know that's a really nice gift to offer. Now, thanks for joining us for this episode of the Impactful Entrepreneur Show. If you found amazing value here, like, subscribe, and leave us a review to help other people find the high value content that we share, and find us on social media so we can continue the conversation. See you in the next episode.